Alrighty, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's the fun. There's the fun you remembered.
Ooh.
Alright, so yeah, these things, these strange mutants that looked somewhat humanoid, although they had like skulls that kind of vaguely resembled that brass skull that you found and liberated. They're covered in like it's more like a tattoo that's on it. One has like a bestial dog face. He has arms. They both have long saber teeth, and on the end of their arms are these wicked sharp claws. And they both have just kind of like leapt round from the side as you were about to walk in to the entrance. So, you know, surprise, alarm, and oh dear. Lots of bad things. Let's see what's going to happen. So the first thing we need to do is get you guys to establish your initiatives.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always fun.
What the what?
Son of Joshua, thanks for the resub, buddy. Take your pants off, hit the hype.
Ooh, damn.
All right. Okay,
Already
so
rolled as good as possible.
Yeah, I did.
Catarel's on a 50.
I am so drunk that I'm just
Dude,
like,
that's
let's do it.
Yep. Let's see. Aldette was on a 54. Matthew Bain on a 53. And Bertilda on a 30. Now, don't forget, Bertilda, on your weapon skill rolls, ballistic skill rolls, and all that, you are at minus 20 because of your utter shit-facedness.
Yeah.
So, that's a thing. All right, let's see. Let's check the initiative for our little friends. Move this into a more appropriate place. Alrighty.
I'm gonna miss, but I'll be happy about it.
What the what?
Resub high.
So I saved that fear roll in flying colors if I
Right.
remember correctly.
Okay, their initiative is a whopping great 28. So actually, they're last, which is a good thing.
That's good.
That's never happened for me before. I'm excited about it.
And Ked's going first.
All right. Okay, so with the corridor being as narrow as it is, not that it matters, but Catarel, you're first. What do you want to do?
So the first thing he would do is just say, focus my sword arm, and then hold his shield up as if to pretend the other one's not there, and just focus the one on his one side, because fighting two dudes at once is not a fun time.
Not for him. Okay.
So I'm gonna, if I can, shift a little, to just open that up a little bit, just being mindful, like, and I'm gonna swing at that one with my hand axe, because that's what I got.
Your hand weapon.
Is
Okay.
Is that how you're gonna attack, like this?
Like,
Just take the axe blade and put your
what's up,
head
Llama?
into it
Thank you
real
for
hard,
the
okay?
resub. Take your pants off, hit the hype.
Please just put your head into it real hard. Okay, attack roll. Just as is. Yeah, that's what I
No!
do. I'm not really.
That's a miss.
I'm gonna need that point later.
All right, so you're gonna save your point. Okay.
Yep.
You will.
My shield
Aldette.
does its job.
Yes.
You are very, very small, and because Cad moved as much over to the side as he could, there is probably just enough room for you to either shoot or get up next to him for melee. It's up to you.
We know what I'm doing.
You saw that look from Nat? She was like, yeah.
No. I don't even have a weapon for that, I don't think.
You
Anyway.
have a hand. Well, unless you've thrown
Oh,
away.
yeah,
or
no,
You
I
have a
have a
hand, you
hand
can slap at him.
Okay.
I would like to shoot it, but my question is, I don't remember. Did we have weapons drawn?
I would
I
say
assumed
it's
it,
a
yeah.
fair assumption that even if you didn't specify it, once you got to the bottom here, you would have got your regular weapons ready. So it's very probable you have a bow with
So
an
I can
arrow ready
aim
to
and
knock.
shoot.
So you could aim and shoot, sure.
I'm gonna aim and shoot.
Okay. Let
that's
thy
plus-
arrow fly.
10, correct?
Sorry?
It's plus 10, right?
Yes, for aiming, yes.
Yes!
That's a hit. Shot it in the head.
Yes.
Alrighty.
This is the old dead effect.
roll the
everybody,
damage.
If you haven't seen before.
Not much.
For 5. Okay, let's see. All right. 3. All right. Your arrow nicks the creature, but it is technically doesn't really seem to be that hurt by the blow. Is that well? That was all you can do because that was your full action. Okay, Matthew Bain.
I am going for full effect. I'm channeling my magic.
Okay.
Oh no! Everybody stand back.
You succeed in your channeling roll.
I am holding a dart because I need to help Cad out so he doesn't die.
Okay. Using casting magic dart. Yeah, I mean you could see this one. You can see clearly over top of Oldette. She's way short enough for you to have a clear line of sight.
I'm aiming at the one that Oldette miraculously hit in the dog head. If that's
Okay.
what it was. So I pressed it. We're waiting to see.
Yep, wait for the macro.
Hey!
Successful casting test. Very nice. Okay, the arrow blasts it in the chest for maximum damage. That's a thing. Is that maximum?
Wow.
Wow.
It's
Damn.
No,
That would
it's
have killed
D10
Cad.
plus 3, so it's not max, but it's high roll. I rolled high.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Okay. So 12 damage. That would be. Let's see.
I got to witness a successful cast for the first
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, does it?
Matthew Bain, you
all
beautiful
right,
bastard, you've been holding out on
MVP
us.
already.
That actually reduced it to 0 wounds.
Woo!
So didn't crit it, but it is down to 0. Very nice too. All right, Bertilda.
Okay, so even though I know that this would be a bad idea because obviously everybody can attack
Go
it
second elf.
at this point except for her, I am going to try to stumble past everybody because I'm like, oh, there's stuff to fight.
Okay, so you're gonna like try to bulldoze your way up here. Okay.
Yeah, probably
Um.
bump into Oldette. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. But there is barely room for you to stand next to Cadorel. So I mean, Cad can kind of fall back into the alcove a little bit to give you a bit more room. But where you guys are right now, you're like having to reach past him. But you could do so.
But I'd love to scoot out of the way a little bit if possible.
Yeah, here
All
I
right,
come
so you
bumbling.
moved up. But you can still make an attack. And it is at -20. Don't forget, because you are very, very, very drunk. I'm afraid. What's up, Mike? Very, very drunk at the time.
Drunk but covered in armor.
It's okay, Carol.
You only just missed. You only just missed.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Oh no!
But I mean, yeah, you're up. You're kind of wedged up there. The two of you are like shoulder to shoulder. Okay, their turn. Well, now there's 2 of you, so I think 1 each seems fair. Alrighty.
We should have gotten these monsters drunk.
Retrospect, we should
Before
have
we fight,
invited them
drink
to the
this.
bar.
I'm trying to be
We should have invited them
All
to the
right.
bar.
intimidating, but the words are coming out all wrong. I'm
Okay.
gonna hand my ass to you.
Right, Cadorel. The first one lashes towards you with his huge, big clawed hand. However, it will
you have to
mostly
parry.
miss and grind and kind of scratch down the side of the wall, tearing out pieces of rock as it does so.
Oh, that's intimidating.
Okay, the other one is going to do the same, but this one is trying to swipe at Bertilda. And he will also miss, very fortunately for you. All right. Back to the top of the round. Catterell.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, it's never gonna happen. So let's try again. Yeah.
All right. You swatted him a miss.
Yeah, still hitting the same
Odette. I'm afraid
Nudge.
you cannot see them.
And
Your
nudge
vision
Catterall,
is
like,
blocked
Alfonso.
because there is a wall
Attaboy.
of big people in the way.
Out of
Gosh,
way.
big people. Could I duck down and try to shoot between their legs?
No.
I have nothing else.
I mean, they're barely standing side by side as it is, so...
I'm gonna just reload and aim for when I can see something.
Okay.
You
Matthew
can shout,
Bain.
move out of the way, and I'll do it next round.
Bertilda will be
do-
like, huh, and get more in the way, so.
I do need to see them too, right? I mean, even though it's an automatic hit, if I
You have to have a line of sight, yeah. You gotta be able to
Yeah.
Please don't dart me in the back, Matthew Bain.
see.
So if I
Move,
climb on
Cat,
Odette's
get
shoulders,
out the
could I
way.
cast then?
I was thinking the other way around.
Could that just be your battle
No.
formation?
Hold her up.
I mean, how high is the ceiling actually?
I think it was about 8 feet, so...
All right, and I'm 6, and she's what 3?
3 something.
So that would be awkward, wouldn't it? I mean, I'd have to crouch a little bit. Yeah, no, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna scoop Odette up and put her on my shoulders, and then try to lift as much as possible to give her as much height as possible without like causing her to go like this. Obviously.
Okay. Well, that'll take an action. I'm assuming that Odette is allowing this to happen.
Once she realizes what's happening, yes.
I'm not just gonna pick her up. That would be weird. I
Don't
would
pick me
say.
up! Don't pick me up!
the way this is playing
No,
out in my
I
mind.
would say for sight, you know, so
Yeah.
she knows that I'm
No,
not,
she
like,
would. She
being
would
weird.
after.
Once she realizes. Gotcha.
My first thought is just.
Okay. All right, well, that's good. Bertilda, you're up.
Am I?
Yeah, in a very kind of loose, staggery sort of way.
Do it.
Yeah,
do
it
it.
happens.
Do it. Smack the brain out.
Oh my god, right on the money. You actually
Yes.
hit it.
That's what we like.
I love
Okay.
it.
Massive damage. Oh yeah.
Oh, a nice
Oh.
blow. That's a 9 crit. Because that was the one on 0. So give us a 9 crit. Got a feeling you just took out 1.
Stole my kill. Front plate.
Maybe she'll leave it for you if you'd really like. Okay, several internal organs are ruptured by the violence of the blow, causing death in a matter of seconds.
Nice.
Okay.
So, drunk, confused Bertilda, I'm gonna go, way to go, Cat!
I did it.
It kind of
Yeah.
falls back, staggers, and will promptly die. Okay. All right. This one is left. Okay, instinctively, it will kind of like push forward to kind of like bar the gap. Like they're deliberately trying to stop you get any further. And then it lashes out once again at Catterell with its claws. This time, it will find its mark.
Parry.
Cad, you have a shield, so you do get a parry.
Let's try that out. No.
Afraid not. Alrighty.
I'm
Put your
yeah, I'm gonna
foot in its ass.
I mean, I know it just ripped the wall out of the cave, but
I'm
gonna
not
let
able
it do that to
to
me now.
parry.
You're gonna let
for
it? You're
him.
gonna take it?
Yeah,
Take the pain. Take the
that's
pain.
not really on my
In the
favor.
face. Okay.
Ooh,
Oh,
that reduces to 0, so that's cool.
Oh, good.
Oh wait, no, that's where it's hitting. Never mind.
Yeah, I thought that was the
That's my
damage too at
face.
first.
That is
I
my
was like,
face.
I haven't done the damage. That's the location.
Oh,
I
I
figured
was
the
like,
damage die was a 100, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this isn't too bad.
All right. The damage to the head is 11.
Okay. So take 3 off of that, that's 8. I am down quite some considerable wounds.
Okay. You need to make a toughness test
oh,
Oh, no, Elder.
because their claws are blessed
Of
by
course
the
they are.
chaos forces of the god.
I'm very
Core.
strong, but I'm not tough.
Is there ever an ability where, like, if you're standing by someone who
Yes.
gets hit, you can
Yes,
parry for
there
them?
is later.
Oh,
There are such
well,
things.
damn it.
Okay.
Superiority.
Lucky for you. You are
think it's just that
able
I'm good.
to avoid the additional unpleasantries that come with being hit by this thing.
Okay.
Thinking of like a paladin cover.
So, yeah, that's all. You just took a mere 11. That's all it did.
Just a mere almost ripped my head off. Nothing more.
Just tried to tear your face off. 11 to
You
the
won't
face.
have a nose. I have a pig nose.
Okay.
I just got slapped real hard.
Catarel,
It
you're
was the
up.
blood
nonstop.
guy that killed me, so.
Yeah, it's actually
One
kind
shot
of
death.
probably a good thing in a way that Bertilda's drunk, because she would probably be really, really paranoid and anxious right now. Otherwise, the last time we were in like an actual battle,
It's a great thing you've got a minus 20.
yeah,
Only
That's
missed by a
awesome.
little bit
That really
each time.
helps.
It's really good.
All right, Cad, you're up.
So I'm gonna try and push this thing back to try and like open up.
Okay.
In
In
the
that
area.
case,
yeah. Let's hope there's nothing else in this room.
Just gonna take what's my shield and just push on
So
him.
what you are
Just
trying
push.
to do?
I saw that look,
Push.
Shaggy. Did I say a no?
No. I agree with you. Like, if there's something else in here. It's like, no, you're. I agree with
I'm
you.
gonna
100%.
push.
Like pushes it back and like 5 more come up.
Yeah.
That's great.
Aw, babies.
Love this.
5 little tiny versions of it. Same token, just smaller.
And they're more venomous.
Yeah, even more
Significantly
evil.
worse. Stronger too.
That's
Can't
it.
explain.
Oh, that's yeah.
So is that a contest of strength or
So
I forgot how that worked?
basically, you're using your aggression of force to do what forceful maneuver. You use superior footwork and aggression to force your opponent to move 2 yards backwards. So basically, how that works is, let's see here. It's an opposing weapon skill.
Okay.
So you make a weapon skill check, it makes a weapon skill check. Whoever passes by the most. If you're successful, you knock it back 2 feet, but do no damage. If it's successful, it holds its ground.
I just made a weapon skill check category, and I'm gonna go ahead and just roll that. I hit head, so that's probably pretty good.
Okay, so it's an 11. So you succeeded by 24.
We all acknowledge that Gore is good at math.
23, it succeeded by 10. So you succeed. Okay. Basically, yep, you're going to shield bash it backwards, creating 2-yard buffer between you and it. Good deal.
Can I like back out and make like a space because like the whole point
You
I was
can,
make it
because
visible.
the maneuver only takes half your action, so you still have a move.
Yeah, so I'm gonna fall back because
Okay, all
if I
right.
get hit again, I'm dead.
Good deal. Oldette, suddenly seeing that there is an opening, there's
gonna
room for
shoot.
you to kind of shuffle over or bolt forwards if you prefer.
Well, I'm up.
Not when she's
I'm
on
up
top
in the
of.
air.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're kind of like,
Awkward. Now it seems really awkward that I did what I did, but you know,
It was a good idea.
I tilt the halfling towards the gap, So it's-
Oh,
like holding a gun
Okay,
sideways. You know?
so I would say, yeah, so that I would give you a -10 from trying to shoot on top of his shoulders in such a tight, awkward space, and the fact that it's very difficult, but you did aim, so that would offset that.
Okay, so just a straight shot.
Straight shot, yep.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
These
that.
hits.
Oh, that. Oh.
Okay, close, but the arrow whistles past it. All right, Matthew Bain, with the old debt on your shoulders.
Well, seeing like it's now, Cad kind of. I'm gonna drop the. I'm gonna put the halfling down again.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of like, okay,
I mean-
that's half your movement.
So I'm not gonna channel this time, but I am gonna do a cast of
Okay.
my wonderful, beautiful spell.
Lovely.
Dart of wickedness, go for it.
Alright. No, I can't channel. Yes. See if it hits. I'm gonna curve a bullet, from that Angelina Jolie movie that no one saw.
Wanted or
Curve the dart, around my friends.
Apparently, some of us seen it.
I haven't. I had no things that
All right.
I have no reason to know.
I succeeded again for 7 on the arm.
You did.
Ooh.
Alrighty. This one has not yet been hit, but it has now. Okay. Yep. Your dart blasts into its right arm, and flash of magical energies can be seen striking it as the dart dissolves. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Bertilda.
Yeah. Do I need to take a step forward? It's
You can close the distance if you want to, yeah. Because he knocked it. He basically shoved it back with his shield maneuver.
Finish the job.
Finish him.
since I step forward. Is that one swing?
Swung on it and missed. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, swung and missed. Alrighty. It will, in that case, retaliate. There's really only one person it can try to kill, which is you. So, 60. It misses. All right, Cad.
That was close. I'm gonna just drop what I'm holding and pull out my bow.
Okay.
Take a shot. Can I do that all in one round, or?
If you're gonna just drop the weapon,
Yeah.
bow, draw the bow and load. So you could not shoot, but you could
Okay.
have an arrow ready.
Okay, I'll have my arrow ready.
Yeah,
then I can
because
aim
you'd have to
and shoot.
ready. If the bow was in your hand already, you could have done.
Okay.
Okay, but you've got an arrow readied. Aldette.
I'm gonna aim and shoot from the
Okay.
ground.
All right.
This picture, just you got Bertilda up front doing everything, and then all
Staggering all over the place.
literally on the ground as my mind takes
Oh,
that.
still
Just like you're
you.
lying
There's
down, like
still two of them.
I'm just like, oh, I got a bow, right? And then it just over
Yeah.
there, yikes.
Matilda
Better.
probably thinks she's been fighting for this entire time.
This is true. Oh,
Shot and missed. Okay.
See, okay, in my mind, the only reason it's difficult and you're missing your shots right now is because I'm moving a lot.
You're making it hard. That's right.
I'm just
Math,
really not
did
a
you
good
bang?
shot.
Not using an item, I'm gonna channel and cast.
Okay.
I don't know. Trying to save my. Who knows what we got coming up? So. Sorry, a lot of clicking. Channel.
Barely succeeded, but you did, so that's all that matters.
Don't use up all that luck, Shaggy.
That's why I'm not using an item, so it's a straight
We might
50-50
need it
shot.
later.
Okay.
It's a
Go for
50-50
it.
shot. We'll see what happens.
We all know that my track record with surviving isn't really that great. Just in general, not necessarily in Warhammer.
Yes!
It
I'm hitting
succeeds.
everything!
Another 10.
Hits
holy
it in the
shit.
body for 10. Okay.
Do it
Have we ever expressed our gratitude and appreciation for you?
All right. Another solid blast.
You're gonna be amazing at darts, Logan. That's our distraction next time.
Bertie, you're up.
Steal that kill or kill that steal. Wait. Ooh.
No. Very hard to hit things when you're moving and they're kind of like moving as well, even though they're not moving. All right.
There's 6 of them.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Second one was close, but not quite. All right. It will retaliate. And it will miss by the closest of fractions. Like, the claws are like, shh. You feel the air as it rushes past you.
I totally
You have a clean
meant to
shave.
dodge that, you
That's
guys.
All right, Kat,
Clean shave.
you're up. You have an arrow in the bow, so you can aim and shoot if you wish.
I'm gonna do that. That sounds great.
All right, get you plus 10.
Modifier 10. That's what I live for that. I live for that modifier 10. I'm gonna re-roll now.
Okay.
because that's embarrassing.
You can shoot better than that.
And
Hellboy.
Reroll would have
Again,
on,
I
Dad.
maintain that you guys are having a hard time aiming past my
Try that
drunken jackass
again.
debris over here.
had to go and fix that. It's completely out of pride and serves no function that I'm doing this, but oh my god.
And you miss even more.
Oh.
Never mind.
I
Okay.
miss a little less than I would have, though.
That's right.
And that's what matters to Cad. 65! Are you kidding?
He could tell the difference.
Jeez.
All right, Aldette.
I am going to reload and just shoot.
Okay, so you're not going to aim, you're just going to let the arrow fly. Go for it.
Yeah. Oh, it worked.
Yeah.
It's better when you don't aim. How is that possible?
She uses more like, Zen archery.
I'm still channeling Star Wars from before.
There you go, yeah. The
bringing
force.
it in
Use your
this
force.
game.
I really
Alright,
hate the
how much
mathematics are
damage do
so
you do? You hit
pure.
the body. Or 8. That will be a 4 body crit to it.
Do it! Do it, Odette!
These things clearly
Body.
looked a lot more fearsome than they really are.
Target
you said
has
it was a
significant
4?
indigestion.
4 crit to the body, yeah. It is stunned for D10 rounds. 10. Okay, you basically KO'd it.
It'll be dead by then.
So yeah, it is stunned, and will be technically prone.
It's a
We'll see
scary
what
arrow.
Bertilda does in 10 rounds. We'll see if she can hit him from
So, Matthew Bain, do you wish to do anything?
No. Well, it fell prone. I probably can't see it really anymore.
Probably not. Bertilda, even drunk, you can hit a stationary thing.
Well,
So
yeah.
just roll the
Maybe.
damage.
Drop the sword.
Making a lot of
Oh,
assumptions here.
yeah, it's
It's a 10 crit, so it really doesn't matter much where you hit it. But let's assume you just stab it in the body, seeing as it's right there. Give me a 10 crit to the body.
Target requires Pepto-Bismol. Target requires Pepto-Bismol.
Killed in whatever spectacular and glory-drenched fashion the player or GM cares to describe. Yeah, you kind of probably just like fall forward on it, like with excess weight, because you're like stumbling and stick it right through the stomach, and like
We should hang out later.
as you like try to pull the blade out, you're like dragging it.
Again, still
inside over,
confused.
and its
Good job,
intestines
Cad!
all come spilling out. Okay. But from what you can tell, these two creatures are deceased. But are there more? Okay.
Poke
What do
it
you
with
guys
my
want to
foot.
do?
I would like to retrieve what arrows I can.
I would like for somebody to walk up here because I can't see anything.
yeah, no,
Yeah, with dynamic lighting, she can barely see in front of her.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoulder my bow and grab my things off the ground and resume front moving because I
Okay.
can see.
So you've got the light source in front of her, so she can actually. It radiates out. Okay.
There's stuff.
Okay, in the chamber, immediately in front of you, what you see is like a large altar or ritual table that is ornate and kind of like it's kind of like a wooden table, but somebody has made like. A tablecloth is not really the correct word because it's made of bones, but they have made a table covering of femur
Femur
bones
bones.
and skulls and all kinds of hideous looking things. All the skulls themselves are coated with dried blood and large stains, almost like blackened tar. Douses over it and down the sides and onto the floor. Besides the altar is a wrecked lectern, which looks, like something that would hold a book if you were going to sit and read and do a speech or dictate something. The lectern is on the ground, but there is no book currently there.
Well, there wouldn't be. The guy we're trying to protect or defend.
There is what appears to be a chain attached to the lectern that has been very roughly hacked through by some hard, blunt object. The chain is probably about yay thick, maybe, quarter of an inch thick.
Witch Hunter's teeth, he probably chewed through
So,
it.
but at one point, it wouldn't be too hard to assume that the other end of this chain probably had a clasp that was attached to the book to hold the book and keep it in place with the lectern. So obviously the book has been forcibly removed.
Is this bone covering? I'm gonna search around it, search if I can remove the covering to see if there's anything free that I could take as evidence, further evidence. Like, hey, there's.
Or
is
the
it all
bones
kind of like a
themselves
self-contained
are sinister enough. It's like somebody put tree resin on it, like when the tree resin was wet, and then pressed it down. So yeah, you can prise the bones off, and they'll break and come apart.
Well, so with that, I'm going to turn to everybody and just say, I don't understand how us bringing any of this will be evidence for the witch hunter, because we're bringing, there's no proof that we got it from here. It's just we have it.
It's dark.
Give me a moment on that. I'm gonna pick up the lectern.
Okay.
And grab so that the feet. And I'm gonna dip the feet in the blood of the thing we just killed.
Okay.
And make.
Yeah, there's plenty of blood after Bertilda probably eviscerated the other one's stomach. It spewed all over the place. So
I'm gonna make a print on the ground in here. And then pick up the
so you're gonna press the lectern to the floor so that
a clear mark of blood where the feet of the lectern are.
Okay.
That makes this lectern something that belongs here. The chain and clasp was attached to the book that he has. They probably have some similar bits or something another which it would have been attached to. Would place the book on the lectern and the lectern in here, the book therefore in here where these chaos monsters have been found. Are we off?
No. So we're going to take the lectern?
Yes.
It's
This
dark.
is our evidence.
Can I sketch the monsters?
you could sketch them if you wish.
I mean, we could take the monsters with us.
I'm gonna take out a torch
Take
and
one of
fumble
them,
yes.
around with it and try
We
not to burn
probably
myself.
don't want to carry this through town.
Sorry, what was that, Bertilda?
I said I'm gonna take out a torch and fumble with it and try not to burn myself.
Okay. Then let me. Apply. Okay, there you go.
I can see.
Oh yeah, now you have a torch lit.
Maybe take the head of one, keep it in a bag.
And say, probably would want to give the witch hunter credit for killing these things, right? Not us.
No, we came here and found it.
We came here and found him. We took the
If
head
he's
of one.
already- If he's already made his confession, then that would be seen as
Door.
a mistake in his confession. If
yeah,
he
we
left
want
out
to
that he
be
had killed
as
these.
straight with the story as possible.
Guys,
Oh, hang on, I forgot to do that.
there's a door. And I probably shouldn't be able to see through it, but there's a guy behind it.
That's my fault because I didn't put the.
Oof.
1 second.
Hearing
Not that it
there's a
really
door-
matters.
Hearing there's a door, I'm gonna put down the lectern, draw my axe and shield back out, and get up there, hoping that she hasn't already opened it. Because she probably would.
Now you can't see through it.
I mean, it would make sense if she'd say there's a guy when we're just looking at a door. You know?
Well, I mean, I could see through it.
Yeah.
No, I know.
There
I
to
know.
go. So I was like, is this door
Play it out.
see-through? Or, what's the deal here?
Yeah,
No,
see,
I
now,
wouldn't
now
have
I've fixed the
opened it.
dynamic lighting map. Oh, that's what you see. The
There's
door.
a door and
Let's wind it
nothing
back.
that
I
we
would've
know
just said
behind
there's
it.
a door, and I wouldn't have opened it. But
Yeah, it's a magical torch.
I don't know what's behind it.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, there is indeed a very sturdy door. It looks like somebody went to a lot of effort to actually fit a door frame into this area. There are piles and piles of rocks over here that, again, somebody has used like tree resin between the rocks to kind of like create a fairly solid walled structure. Basically manufacturing a chamber within the chamber. As I said, the door itself is very thick. It has metal bands with studs across it. Clearly designed to keep people out or something in.
There could be stairs we could be going down more.
Yeah, Batilda's just drunk. She doesn't know what she
Could
saw.
be more of those
Okay,
creatures back there.
Batilda. Okay, everybody ready? I'm gonna open it. We're going to see what's inside.
Are you sure you should be the one doing that?
Well, if I'm behind the door, I'm protected.
Okay,
Batilda,
well,
be ready.
which way does it open?
Assuming it's a pull door, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try pulling it.
Yeah, but does it pull? open
Basically,
to the right or
it's
the
got a
left?
big ring. Like, it's one of those that you grab the ring, twist the ring, and then you use it to pull. But the ring does not want to budge. The door is clearly locked. Everybody give me a listen check, please.
Is it locked from the inside or the outside? Like he would know that.
That's actually good. That's a good question. Can I look at it and see if
Listen,
it's
check. Okay.
locked from the inside or outside?
So for perception.
Yep. And you get to add any kind of hearing benefits to it, should you have such things.
I don't hear shite.
Vision. I only have vision.
I hear Matilda.
Hey, I got it.
Oh, you're closest to the door, so you hear something.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
like
Cad,
really big effing ears.
You hear a very faint whimpering sound from the other side of the door.
It sounds like there is a small, sad girl on the other side of the door.
It's a trap. Be careful.
It's a trap!
So you said the stones were set with like tree resin.
Yeah.
That can be pulled apart, right?
I mean,
With a
it's certainly
decent
not
amount
going to
of
be, it's not going to hold as well as, like, something real solid, yes. I mean, and these are, like, piled rocks.
force. Yeah.
So,
Just,
with
like,
a good
tumbling
bit of
along.
effort, a pick or a hand axe could eventually hack through those, yes.
Right. So if I'm just like prying the rocks out with the tip of my axe, I can probably get them
What you
to start
doing?
falling.
Did it look like either of the creatures had keys on them?
Nobody really examined or searched the creatures.
Can I do that? But can I do it carefully? Because I don't want to like really.
Like, you want to, like, use a tip of an arrow or something to poke around as
Yeah,
opposed to...
I don't want to like touch their blood after being killed by blood.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay.
I will if I have to grab the keys, but I don't want to like stick my hand into a bunch of blood from these.
Fine. I'll love
Yeah,
Laura.
give me a search roll. To search the corpses of these chaos mutated individuals.
Oh, this is bad. Yeah.
I was just about to say, who would
Okay,
leave a key on them? That's just kind of weird.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they have pockets because they have clothing. They were people at one point, but it's just too difficult to maneuver with just an arrow to kind of like get into the pockets and stuff like that. But the face value, you don't see any keys. None of them have, belt loops with key rings or anything like that on them.
I was about to say, what do you have to do to turn into one of those? But I guess we could just chaos.
So,
them, take it
Cad, you are actively chipping at the rock,
Chip-
right?
Yeah, pulling
Okay.
the rocks out.
So you're doing that. Aldette is poking corpses with a stick. Matthew, Bain, and Bertilda, what are you two up to?
I am surveying the scene, trying to figure something out.
Okay.
It's taking all my mental processing. So I'm just standing there, kind of like
You're chin
Wizarding.
stroking.
I'm wizarding. Yes.
It's wizarding. Okay. Matilda.
I can
I'm
respect it.
probably annoying the hell out of Cateril. I'm like constantly looking back and forth between over his shoulders.
Oh, they're rocks.
Flipping
Please
my
just
mic.
move the rocks. Help me move the rocks. I know you're strong. You can move the rocks, Matilda.
I'm just like,
we
what
can
are you
move the
doing?
rocks.
What you doing?
We're moving
Is
the
that
rocks,
rock?
Matilda. Matilda,
Moving the
move
rocks.
the rocks.
I'm gonna push on the rocks.
No, pull the rocks. You push the rocks, they're gonna stay.
Hey, but then I'll
Tilda,
start
no.
pulling off the rock.
Right, yeah. I mean, you're not going to pull any of the rocks loose, but as Cad begins to pry a rock free, you're certainly able to grab it and pull it out from the hole. It's basically you can't grab a rock and pull it free by yourself. But once he's chipped around and got rid of most of the resin, you can grab one and kind of pull it out for him. That will take a little while. While they're doing
my
that,
entire body into it.
I'm gonna say, Aldette, anything in their pockets?
Nothing that I can tell right now. No.
So this doesn't make any sense. So
There's someone
When has any of
upstairs
this
is
made
corrupt.
sense?
So the witch hunter came down here and managed to steal the book from a chained lectern without these two things down here to stop him. Without the crying lady that Bertilda said was in the room, the door.
Cad said that, but I get where you're stepping.
There's
So-
someone in the bar is corrupt, and these monsters may not have been here before.
But you don't just walk into a tap room with two monsters, say, let's go to the basement. That's
But you do construct an altar of human bones to maybe conduct some sort of summoning.
I think these two monsters were patrons.
Hmm.
Because then they maybe went to the drunk tank and was warp zone dusted.
Perhaps.
And then
You
brought
think
down
that's
here.
what they're doing to the dwarf?
Well,
What,
they have an upside down room, don't they?
Wait, what happened to the dwarf?
oh yeah, you two. So the two elves don't know.
Oh, yeah, we don't
about
know.
the
Yeah, that's right. We
upside
don't
down
know.
They
room.
did.
Let's play it out. Sorry.
It is a very long story. We had a little help making sure that he was drunk. And apparently, if you drink too much, they stick you in a room upstairs where all the furniture is on the ceiling.
They didn't seem evil to me. But I'm not a very good
I-
judge of character.
I'm sorry. What? How does the dwarf get drunk?
He drank.
He
And
drank a
Dwarves
lot.
are
he was drunk.
perhaps the best drinkers that I've ever heard of.
Yes,
Not better than somebody from Otengard.
this is very true.
Matilda doesn't even know that this happened.
So I'm to believe that Bertilda here outdrank a dwarf?
I would
Hell
explain
yeah,
her
I
current
did.
state. No,
Yes,
pull the rock.
of course
pull the
she
rock,
did.
Please.
Like shaking my head, no, like absolutely not. But yes, verbally
Oh.
she did.
Okay, so I see you shaking your head.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking right at you.
That
I
was
see.
amazing, Matthew Bane.
She was absolutely amazing. Yes. I was worried she was going to become more drunk than she is now.
I
So
see.
I'm not
we
drunk.
hurried things along by choosing appropriate drinks, right?
So, wait, how do you know that there's a room above with the furniture on the ceiling?
I asked where they were going. They carried
if
him
people were-
upstairs.
So you
the
guys,
whole bar.
Uh,
went upstairs.
It's emptied, yes.
so I snuck through the door with no hindrance or problem. The entire bar eventually followed suit to put a person in a drunk room. You decided to get Bertilda drunk when you could have just walked through the door?
Oh, that was after
Like
she
I
got
did?
drunk.
Be drunk.
No, she got drunk before all this.
I'm
But
not drunk.
I walked through the door and was fine, and apparently that's a common thing if the entire bar followed.
Well, are you having a good
The
time right
entire
now?
bar followed with the staff. It wasn't
Maybe
just
if you
like
got
they
I
drunk
see.
before you
walked
went
up
through
on
the
their
door,
own.
you'd be having
It
a
was
good
all
time
like
right
a big.
now.
It was a big moment where they were
And-
like, "Hey, let's bring the dwarf upstairs and make fun of him."
I
And-
see.
Yeah.
Bertilda, you would want me to be drunk along with you?
I'm not drunk. I won
Clearly.
the drinking contest, and if
You
you win the drinking contest, that means you're not drunk.
Ertengirders aren't drunk
Those are the
until they
rules.
piss on the floor.
Those are the rules.
These are
Clearly-
interesting rules. Yes.
You are not drunk, Bertilda.
No,
And you have the strength and willpower and of a dwarf. I see.
As
I'm
good and
better
fun
than
as
the
the
dwarf. I'm
conversation
an
is,
Utengurdian.
as good and fun as the conversation is, we are
Ungurdite.
under,
I'm Utengurdish.
I'm
we are
going to
under
keep looking
some
around.
rock and the floorboards of an establishment with a known enemy, or a supposed known enemy, I should say. Someone in the staff is most likely corrupt to allow for a basement like this to exist. And we do have an enemy upstairs. I'm trying to get what could be some sort of prisoner of theirs out of here, but we do need to be vigilant, and we need a way out of here with the prisoner and evidence.
Prison. So Whimper and these people are evil. They have a little girl. You say it was a little girl.
It's probably a grown man, but he's crying like a little baby girl.
Do we really want to
Mayfly.
save somebody like that? That's pretty pathetic. Maybe they'd be better off if they just stayed.
I mean, if we don't save everyone we come across, are we really heroes that they can sing praise of?
I care less about us being heroes and more about us needing evidence of the witch hunter's innocence.
Right.
I'm gonna keep
and
looking around.
We have evidence which will place
Okay.
him at the
I mean,
scene.
yeah, you
Turn on
could
the
you
book
could in
matches the
theory
chain.
search them
Right.
more thoroughly, but you would have to kind of be
better
more
at searching.
on hands to do it.
Oh, I don't have that good of a search roll, so I'm not gonna do
I'm
that.
not gonna
I'm
bother.
I'm
I'm
really
gonna-
good at searching.
I'm gonna go to the
I'm busy.
I'm gonna go to where Catarel is and take my little dagger out and try to assist with
Start.
rocks.
Okay.
Yeah, chip away at them and
Yeah.
try.
I'm just gonna search around the altar and like just general room if I find a key sitting out in the open.
Okay.
Fine.
You do not find a key.
Yes, I figured I wouldn't, but that's
but-
what she did.
Cast a spell on it, Matthew Bain.
And you have
Sure,
a melt.
I cast
What was it
knife
you did at the door earlier?
to pry.
I will cast.
He cast a spell on the door earlier, remember? And he gave the thumbs up, and then he just walked through it. Maybe it was locked.
No, I tried the doorknob. I didn't cast the spell. I
Well,
jiggled
I didn't
the
do
knob.
that. We
He went up to the door and he went
I
on the
channeled-
handle.
That was me channeling my magic. That's the gesture. I can put the door to sleep. I don't think that'll do us any good.
I mean, if the door's asleep, can it stay locked? I mean, it's worth a try.
I'm not. No.
The sorcerer's greatest power is the assumption they're a sorcerer. I'm gonna keep popping stones out.
Okay. Well, after a while, you've kind of like popped popped enough stone to actually have like a hole about yay big to peer through. Just enough to kind of put a head through and.
Yeah, I'm not sticking my head in there. Do you see Matthew Bain, what he's got on his face? I'm not putting my head anywhere through a hole.
No, we need you alert and in one piece. Don't worry. I'm gonna put my head through the door because I can see. Through the hole.
Okay. In that case.
That was weird.
Alright, inside the chamber, in the corner, kind of like with his hands tied, as he's kind of like cowering on a large rock, which is about the only piece of makeshift furniture, is what appears to be a disheveled and wilted man.
Have you seen?
Is he chained? That's the first.
His-
Is he?
His hands are tied behind his back. You can't really tell if he is tied to anything or not. If he is, it might be that he's tied to that huge boulder, but that's about all.
Okay. Part of me kind of wants. Sir, you there? Look at the wall. Hello.
Okay. I guess, let's see. There would be a flickering of torchlight kind of coming through that hole. He's like, no, leave me alone, leave me alone.
So you don't want us to rescue you? Okay, bye. My head's gonna disappear in the hole.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
There's
gonna
a
pull my
guy
head
there.
back. I'm gonna pull my head back.
Okay.
Why would they keep a prisoner? When they
wait to
just
see how he
chillin'.
reacts to me leaving him. Hold on. I'm going to listen into the hole with my head gone from it.
Okay. He's just quietly still.
Is the hole
Roy,
big
you
enough for
know.
me to fit through?
Not yet.
I'm not letting you go through there. Are you kidding me?
I mean, if they could get another equal-sized boulder out of there, yes, you could
Yeah,
you could wedge your way through there if you want.
I'm going to continue, hopefully, with
Yeah.
Federal's help.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still digging.
All right. So yeah, if you're going to do that, then
I see it
eventually
that way.
you can pop through.
The idea of old- oh,
I'm gonna try to grab at Odette as she walks through the hole.
Yeah, it's more like she's crawling through with her hands and like pulling her body through the hole. So you're like grabbing hold of her legs.
Odette, the blood puke!
First, I'm gonna look at make sure he can't get to me. Like he's not trying to attack me.
He's kind of actually trying to shrink away from you.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna look at the door. Can it be open from the inside?
I mean, there's not a handle that you can see.
What about like hinges?
I mean,
And
there
then
was,
the
as I said, it
outside
had
or
a
the
well manufactured frame.
Yeah.
Yes, it does have hinges. I mean, if enough effort was put into hacking away at the hinges, in equal measure to hacking away at rocks,
Yeah.
potentially you could eventually get the door out of here. Yeah.
Okay, so there's no handle on the inside. I'm gonna walk over to the guy.
Okay. He's like, leave me alone, you foul minion!
You're
Leave
gonna
me
hear
be!
You're gonna hear me grumbling from the outside, Odette. You touch your jackhole and I'm coming in there after you.
Does it look like he is tied up?
His hands are tied behind his back. As you kind of like get close and glance around him, no. I think it just looks like he's cowering on the rock.
All right. How long have you been down here? Do you know?
When they first brought me here, I was unconscious. I don't know how long for. They drugged me, you see. They vast amounts of alcohol, and the next thing everything went strange. The sky was up, the floor was down.
Oh shit.
Where were you when you were drugged?
In the bar upstairs in the tap room. They grabbed me.
Do you remember anyone who was there specifically?
I was very, very drunk at the time.
Was there someone like me?
A small boy, a child, a girl, I do not recall.
But there was.
Whoever was in charge, I heard him scream when something happened. Oh, let me think, what do I remember? Oh, yes, that's it. I heard a strange sound, and it sounded like fighting and yelling and screaming, and I heard a gunshot. Yes, I heard a gunshot, and then I heard the sounds of metal upon metal, and whatever it was, somebody was in there fighting like a lion, and but then he left, and then shortly afterwards a voice come down and was very, very angry, screaming, my book, where is my book? And then he made all kinds of terrible expletives, and then he came over to the door and said, you will be sacrificed now to re-sanctify this place in Korn's name, and that there would be a ritual that would be performed tomorrow, and I was to be laid upon the altar to be sacrificed to Korn. When I heard you, I thought that perhaps this is it. You were coming to get me, to bring me for sacrifice.
We are here with the lion who fought before.
So you are truly here to free me?
We are here to free you, but we also need your help.
I do not know how. I do not know how Johan can help you, but if I can, I will. But please get me free from this place before they come.
Certainly. Yeah, I'm going to remove the binding from your hands. Don't be scared. And I'm going to kind of cut him free.
Okay. And he kind of just rubs his wrists, and you can see that there's rope sores and stuff where he's obviously been tied very, very tightly for some time.
When we go upstairs, we need you to be very quiet and just stay with us. Please do not try to escape on your own.
Johan will be as quiet as a mouse.
Thank you.
Is this guy as clothed as he seems to not be on my screen? Because he might stand out a little bit.
He has pants, but he has no shirt.
Okay.
I'm going to get out of here first. I'm going to try and see if we can get enough space for him to get out as well.
Okay. As soon as you start crawling through... No, don't leave me! Do not leave Johan!
We're going to make more room so you can get through.
Okay.
We need your help.
Alright, so you crawl back through.
And I'm going to try and make enough room to where he can squeeze through. Is he thin enough that it won't be too much longer?
I mean, he's not a particularly hefty individual. But yeah, I mean, you'll need to kind of move another couple of large boulders to the left or the right to get room for him to fit through.
Yeah.
But
while they do that, I'm going to tell him, these are my friends, don't worry. But I'm going to go back to the ladder, if possible.
Okay.
Did you try anything funny, Joanne? I got your number.
Alright, so you want to go back to the ladder?
Yeah, I don't even know where that is. How do I get there? There, okay. I want to, climb up it, but not open it. And
Okay.
I want to listen to see if anybody's coming down.
Alright, give me a
That's
listen
my goal.
check.
While
A
they-
perception roll.
While they dig him out.
Okay.
So for terms of evidence, I want to pop one of the skulls out of the altar,
Okay.
I'm going to reroll that.
Alright,
Just-
go ahead.
stash it in a bag so that
Like,
it's
this is an
this is
important
clearly
roll.
where that used to go. So if they come and check it out, they'll be like, "Oh, that's the skull that he took."
Sounds
I also
good.
want to take one
Okay.
of the legs off of the because it looks like the lectern has legs, right? If I pop
yeah.
one of those off and leave that
Yeah, you
here,
could hack one clear off with an axe.
that would leave that at the scene, and then they could hold it up and be like, "Yeah, that's the same one."
Alright, good deal. Okay, so Aldette, you kind of keep your ear. It still seems pretty quiet.
Very good.
Definitely nobody. It sounds like nobody is probably down in the wine cellar now.
Main
Whether-
floor, yeah.
There's another floor above that. So,
Right.
but at the very least, it sounds like the chamber above is still clear.
That's what I was checking.
So if you guys are actively continuing to hack this stuff to get this guy out,
Yes.
you will free this man. Once he's out, he says, "My name is Johann Opfer. I am very pleased that you have found me and rescued me. I promise. Thank you, Ulrich and Sigmar, that they found me. Now, you said that the man that fought like a lion sent you, yes, to free me? I had hopes that he would not just leave me here after I heard him escape, but
What the what?
I dare to think that after a while he did not come back, and perhaps I was going to be left here." Spectacular. What's up, buddy? Thank you for the
Dude, it
resub.
really
Thank
does
you,
sound
parents.
like he left him here.
Well, he kind of got arrested, if you remember, so...
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't get arrested down here.
I don't know if he knew this guy was here.
Well, he may not have done. He may have just grabbed the book and run. I mean, y'all almost didn't know this guy was here.
That's true.
If the book was there, I would have grabbed the book and run too.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not exactly again the best judge of character.
I'm gonna run back to them.
Okay.
After I
78
make sure nobody's
months,
here.
Lactacular. Appreciate it, buddy.
Old
How
dad.
big is this guy?
Probably about 5'10", maybe weighs about 160 pounds.
This
Probably
is
mid to late 50s.
this is
ish.
Joanne Hopper, and
So
he said,
we must be quiet, yes? You said to be quiet.
Yes, I did say to be quiet. We need to find a way to get you
Oh.
out of here.
And where exactly is here? The last I know, I was in the bar. And
"Yeah, you're still in the bar."
Yeah, you're underneath it.
underneath the bar.
A few levels, you know.
I see. What sinister bar patrons and innkeepers would keep such a vile place beneath their establishment?
Yes,
Uh,
exactly
oh,
the question we have.
we suspect they're cultists of corn. The chaos.
They
God.
didn't seem like cultists to me, not the
So,
people upstairs.
Do you think Gerhard Heller is responsible?
Who?
Gerhard, he is the innkeeper.
We are not sure currently.
He owns this establishment. Surely he is not aware that such a vile thing is beneath his establishment. Unless, of course, he was the ringleader and the one responsible for capturing me.
Yes,
Does this mean that the dwarf is in trouble?
perhaps. But we need to worry about getting this man out first.
But what about the dwarf?
We will take care of that issue when we're able to do so. Right now, we really need to focus on one person at a time.
If we can get this man out of here and our evidence to the court before our friend's hanging, they'll send a dispatch out here to confirm our story and the dwarf will be safe.
Okay, but he said they were gonna sacrifice him. We don't know what the sacrifice does. What if they sacrifice the dwarf? And
I'm gonna
things
nudge
get
the body of the
worse?
thing that Bertilda just killed and be like, I think we kind of get the gist of what happens to the sacrifice here.
I have a lot of clothes. I don't know why I have a lot of clothes. But I
Because
try to
it's part
find
of your
something-
trappings, but of course they're all... Your
Halfling
clothes are
size.
designed
I know.
to fit you, and
I know.
So we'll have a midriff. Who cares?
But I'm thinking, like,
Crop tops
is
are
there a
in this
way,
year.
like, is there like a cloak that we could drape almost like a tunic, or like,
I mean,
like
you-
a way to make this?
maybe you could get like a shirt or something and like just put it around over his shoulders or something. I mean, nothing that he's going to wear that you're going to have is going to look right. But
We'll
you could
take
at
the
least
clothes
have
off the
enough.
back of these things, you know?
Go
We might
ahead.
just have to run. If they chase after us, it's incriminating.
I don't know if he's in any condition to run that far,
That's
and we have the whole city to get through.
I can carry him.
I think you're right.
Yes.
Also, how are we going
Aren't
to
we
get
trying to-
Bertilda out of here?
Aren't we trying to attract less attention?
Yes, we're trying to attract less attention.
So a woman carrying a shirtless man while drunk is...
I'm not drunk,
No,
and I'm
I mean,
sure
did you-
it happens all the time in Utengard.
I mean, did you notice the clientele upstairs? They weren't necessarily the most observant and level-headed or
True. So we
well-dressed.
only need to be obscure enough that they don't notice.
Mhm.
Which also means we need to get the blood off of your face.
Oh,
And the face back on it.
There's not much I can do for that, but I can get the blood off.
That's how women get their men in Utengert, yeah. Knock them on the head and drag them back.
all the women are better drinkers in Utengard. They're always carrying the drunk men home. It's fine.
Oh.
Well, let's at least get to the second level, the basement, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna clean up Cad, make sure that his face, like, bloodied, sure, but not like as bad as it was, I guess. As nice as it can look.
Yeah, I mean, he's not
What are you
that
trying
bad. I
to
mean,
say?
he's got a bit of a
I'm trying to say his
he's got a bit of a
face
fat
is
lip and a scratch, but that's
As nice as his face can look.
Look, he got his face clawed, okay? There's not much I can do for that. I'm
Right.
not a healer.
I had designed
Okay.
his profile picture. He's a pretty decent looking elf. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna climb the ladder and be the first one out.
Okay.
okay.
Do it, Matthew Bain.
You're going to be followed by me passing up the lectern as I climb up the ladder.
All
I'll
right.
Sure,
grab
let
the
us know
lectern.
if there's something up there waiting to ambush us.
Okay.
Yes, I'll do that before grabbing the lectern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please. Or just beat him with the lectern. It's fine.
All right. Who's coming up next?
I'm gonna follow Crop Top McGee.
Oh, so you're gonna get
Lex
the guy.
Luthor here.
You're gonna have Johan come up next. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Johan comes up. And then you're coming up, and that would logically mean that our
I'm staying down here. No, I'm just kidding.
After is coming up. I locked the door behind them, and this is now my home.
I'm gonna live down here with the monsters.
In a hole in the ground, there lived a
I always
halfling.
wanted a bed with skulls at the post.
Okay.
And dead monsters decaying next to it. I really like that aesthetic.
Right.
It's my thing.
Okay, so yeah, the last one comes up, and you close the trap door behind you.
Then I'm gonna travel to the stairs and ascend.
Wait. I think perhaps we should go first? Batilda and I were seen very publicly. We could pretend that she was drunk and got lost on her way to see this room. You can pretend to be drunk. Pretend to
Hey.
be drunk.
They might. You said we should be in because they might want my autograph or something.
They
I mean, I
might,
can't
that's
read
true.
or write, but I mean,
The more
This
I've
is
Marks
seen
the
true.
you,
spot.
So we
more
should
I've seen you
make sure that
create.
they don't want your autograph first. And you can act a little bit drunk, right? Just a little bit. You did drink a lot.
okay.
And this
I-
would be a great distraction so
I
that
can pretend for you all day.
the more of a distraction you guys can
pretend.
create, the easier it'll be for us to slip out with their entire ass lectern.
Exactly. Exactly. So we are going to try and make a little bit of a distraction. Make sure, see if they're still upstairs or if they've come back down.
So we're gonna walk out, and Matthew Bain's holding a damn lectern in his arms.
Yeah,
We
wait.
got this guy who's wearing ill-fitting clothes.
Is there like anything,
Inconspicuous.
is there anything draped on the walls, like cloth of any kind?
There's some sacks over here. You could always empty a sack and wrap it in a sack
Quickly
if you
cut
wanted
it
to.
into quickly cut it into a shirt.
You actually probably could make like a Hessian
Cut
sack
armholes and
makeshift
the
shirt
next
for this
spot,
guy.
Slap it on him and you're good
Could
to
be
go.
done.
I was thinking we take something and drape it over the lectern like it's a banner of some kind, you know? And
Are
Don't
we
mind
taking the
me with
lectern?
my banner. I think.
Well,
My
it could be a
sack
banner
banner.
for
All hail the sack gods.
for
Why are we taking
Matilda.
the lectern again?
It's evidence.
Evidence of what?
Evidence that we were here and that this was here. I made a print on the ground which matches the legs on the thing, and took one of the legs off and left it next to the mark. This puts us at the scene of the crime and this at the scene of the crime. And
we
the
wanna
book was
be at the
removed
scene?
from the lectern. So
I need you to make sure
Excuse me.
that he gets out of here in one piece. We will go try to make a distraction upstairs, and we
Well, I
will
mean,
follow
also
as soon
he
as
is kind of a
possible.
witness to what happened too. So
Exactly. So
I'm gonna
need
drape
him-
an arm over
Wait.
Johan's shoulder, and I'm gonna be like,
So
"One
Is-
piece. Joanne's coming with me. It's okay. Nothing's
No,
gonna happen.
we
to
are
you."
going to make a distraction, and the elves are going to take him out in one piece.
Oh,
yeah. So Odette.
sorry,
ex-
Joanne. They're gonna.
Explain to me the dwarf. Is he alive?
He is alive, and upstairs in the drunk room where the things are on the ceiling.
And he's in there for when he wakes up, right?
Yes, which
It's
might not
okay.
be for a long time.
Sacrifice him.
But you don't have to. You can just go in there and say he woke up, and they would go on a watcher. No.
Perhaps.
So then they clear out, and we.
They
walk
were all
out.
upstairs watching him anyway. So I'm going to see if they still are upstairs
I understand.
and try to make a little bit of a distraction.
If small scout be scarce, return, we flee.
I don't know if I can challenge another person to a drinking contest. I might get drunk.
We are not going
Let's
to
do
have a
that.
drinking contest. We are just going to go see the dwarf in the room because it might be. It's supposed to be funny, I think.
Don't tell me you don't think that's funny. In
mean,
upside
Well, if
down
they're-
room, you wake up,
There's
knocked
Not
on
if
your
you
ass
wake
already,
up
but now
getting
you're on the ceiling.
sacrificed
What's
to the
going
blood
on? That's
god.
the funniest
precisely
thing ever.
if they're waking up then to be sacrificed to the gods
Oh well, that's
of
not.
chaos. I
That's
feel
not
like
part
this
of
is
the joke,
just
though. No, that's terrifying. That's the
Maybe they
worst.
take the
But
joke too
upside down
far.
room, we can at least give them credit for that.
I mean,
perhaps
it is
originally.
chaotic.
Although I do
Maybe
feel
it was all a joke anyway. They're gonna be like,
Oh,
you
they-
thought you were getting
I feel a little
sacrificed to
bit
the
guilty
blood
about
god.
this one, okay? This one is
Oh,
a little
Jack-
bit my fault.
Go upstairs and see if they are still upstairs. Double upstairs, looking at the drunk guy. Otherwise, tell them that they're up, so they'll clear out. And we'll just walk out.
Bonus points
I
if
will
you
go
wake him up
upstairs.
first.
Okay, so you're going to go up.
I'm gonna let them figure out how to get this guy out in one piece. I'm going up.
Okay. All right. Well, we are going to take a short break because that's a great time for us to do that. And I actually remembered for a change. So,
I have no idea what I'm gonna do upstairs, guys.
and we'll do a quick Q&A if anybody's got any questions. Okay, so let's go ahead and move Odette upstairs.
I'm scared.
Okay. All right. So, Odette, you sneak up the stairs. You can still hear quite a lot of noise and discussions and laughing coming from the next flight up. Because the first flight is the level with the tap room.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go on up.
Okay.
I feel so guilty about this.
All right. Once you get to the top, this room here, this door is probably open anyway, so let me just open the door. And that way it'll be open. You can see the vast amount of patrons are still upstairs, like looking through the peepholes, and they're now laughing quite ingeniously. They're like giggling and, oh my god, look what he just did! Which would lead you to believe that the dwarf is probably awake now.
Wow, how long have we been downstairs?
Probably close to an hour.
He recovered quickly.
He's a dwarf.
I mean, but like we drugged him.
You did.
Okay, is my halfling friend in here?
You cannot see him, no. Kind of like look between the crowd of people, but you're not seeing Back Alley Tom.
Okay, what about the bartender? What's he doing?
He is over here.
Mm-hmm.
While he is not looking through the hole, he is encouraging the patrons to go take a look and, generally speaking, keeping the merriment going.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna, if nobody's noticing me, I'm gonna slip out.
Okay. You're going to slip back down to
To the landing.
the main landing. Okay, hold on then. All right. Yep.
And I'm gonna wait for I'm gonna keep listening upstairs, but like wait for everybody to come up.
Okay. So the rest of you, are you just heading up, or was you?
Well, no, we're waiting.
That's what I thought. You were
We're
waiting.
We're not going to go up
Wait for
there.
her to come back, but if she's taking a while, like I'd probably scout because that's like my whole job, just to see where she's at.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
was
after a while,
watching.
when she does not re-emerge, you're going to pop upstairs and check.
Yeah, and just make sure like nothing happened or.
All right, hold on. I'll move you up there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like right at the top of the stairs.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's basically at the top of the stairs waiting.
Oh. Does that mean we should go?
I haven't checked the main area yet, but most people are upstairs. There is quite a spectacle to see.
That's opportune.
It is. We need to.
Move out in full force quickly.
I think so, but I think we could also go out laughing like we had seen him upstairs.
Good point. Let's get everybody else up here and go.
And start
I'll just-
laughing like we had just seen him upstairs and we were going out to tell people.
I'll go back, get the lectern, and try to make it look scarce.
Yes.
Oh, you shouldn't be on that one. You're up.
So I'll go back down, tell them what's happening, grab the lectern, and
Did you guys put it in the bag or did you
Well,
guys
it's a
make a
lectern.
shirt?
I'm just holding it awkwardly, waiting for instruction. So you just see me holding a lectern, like
yeah, I feel like hiding it against like the wooden interior. If you put a bag over it, it's going to be more obvious that we're carrying something. If
Did
we
we
move
put a
quickly
bag
with
over the
it-
guy?
Oh,
Yeah, was you gonna put
Shirt.
like a shirt
Were you
on
gonna
that
make the
fella?
shirt?
Yeah, we
can
made a-
cut up a burlap sack into a shirt, and
yeah.
he can just be red for a couple days. It's okay.
Okay, all right. So you all emerge at the top of the stairs, carrying your lectern, and he's got like a makeshift sack shirt on. Okay.
Bertilda, when I exit through the door, stay on my right. I'll hold the lectern on my left. Your shield will kind of maybe block it, you know.
Okay. And I'm immediately gonna walk
Yes,
to the
that's gonna
opposite
tell
side
the
of
drunk
where you
person
told
this
me.
cunning plan.
I'm gonna lead out in front then, and I'll mention something about we do need some food after all this
We do.
all
And
these libations. We'll
we-
head over.
we did see the dwarf upstairs. He woke up, and it's extremely funny to see him in the room upstairs.
But we
Okay.
wouldn't want to be half as drunk as he is, so we're getting food.
I'm not.
Yes. And I know the perfect place. Ready. I'm ready.
Come on,
Lay
sack
out the
man.
scene. Let's go.
His name is Joanne.
Yeah, Johan.
Okay.
Just,
Johan.
just follow.
That's what I said.
Follow
behind
Joanne.
Matthew Bain. Follow behind Matthew
You
Bain.
can-
Joanne.
I'm gonna make sure I tell him that he can laugh along with us,
Oh,
but not to draw too much attention to himself. Like, to kind of meld with our group.
Follow behind Matthew Bain, so that you're on the side facing the door. You'll get out more quickly that way.
He's Matthew Bain.
all right.
And then I'm gonna prop the door and walk out,
I'm gonna walk
laughing.
right there with them. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna banter back and forth with
Okay.
you.
Once you go back out into the tap room, there are only probably 4 patrons left. Those that just couldn't be bothered, and then there's the guy that he got to kind of stand behind the bar and watch the bar for him while he took everybody upstairs. But other than that, the room is fairly empty, offering you a pretty easy route out the
We're
building
gonna-
and out the door.
Head out the door.
I'm gonna
That's what
kind
we're
of get
doing.
up in his face a little bit at the bar and just be like, "Did you have anything to do with that decision making upstairs? That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Yes. Oh no, this is well, let us just call it Hella's little joke.
Is there any discount at the bar right now? And seeing as he's not upstairs, no, he is upstairs.
No, I
right?
am here to make sure that nobody helps themselves to the fine refreshments.
Well, if you helped yourself, I wouldn't say anything. How's about 2 copper pieces for a tankard of whatever you would sell? We're about to go grab some
I
food.
can, you can have, yes, I can give you a drink for a couple of pennies. Hold on.
Get on my other side.
He pours you a drink.
Side? Duh.
As
And
we're
I almost
walking
fall down
out,
getting to your other side.
as we're walking out, I'm gonna just yell back, "Hurry up! We need to go get food."
I'll be right out behind you. Don't mind me.
Ugh,
Just want to see how far I can push it before I totally can't walk to the next venue.
I don't want to have someone carry you again.
Ah,
and make my way out the door.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, I
Your
know
new
that.
friend, Johan, is more than happy to get out of this place as quick as possible, and will breathe a huge sigh of relief once you step out into the streets.
Oh, thank goodness.
I honestly thought I was done for.
Well, the city is not the safest place right now, so we're going to get you somewhere safe to where you can help us in return.
Of course, I help you any way I can now that you have saved me from certain deaths. Is Matthew Bain, not Matthew Bain, is Catarel, are you staying in here, or are you just going to, like, drink, once they're gone, like, drink your drink and then leave?
Yeah,
Or...
basically I'm letting them walk out, and like I said, I need to catch up with them, right? So
Okay.
going to try and down this, probably Verner's Delight. I'm hoping it is, because that was the best sounding one from the old selection. So I'm going to do my best to down it, but I'm an elf, and I'm just going to be like, my elfin sensibilities, drop another copper on it, and I'm like, this is for the tankard, and I'm just going to walk out with
the tankard as well? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You guys will find yourselves then outside, back on the streets.
Cost me 3 pennies, guys.
You got a cup from
Better
it.
be
Pennies.
worth it. I got a free cup.
All right. So yeah, you guys are. Let's pull the map over a little so everyone can see you. And we can zoom in a little. Right, so you emerge out here in the Newmarket area, right on the edge where the cleared out region was, where all the buildings were destroyed. And you were told to make your way to the Square of Marshals, where the trial would be conducted. Did anybody ask where the Square of Marshals was?
Is it still the night before? Because if it's still night, we were supposed to go back to the church.
It is,
Day,
by the
right?
time you come out, it is, let's see, you went over here. Let's get it there.
Too. Probably been a few hours, but
It's, I mean, from where it took you about, you went from here down to there. Yes, it would be it would basically be, by the time you come out, it's probably the early hours of the morning.
Okay.
We have no
I
idea
love-
where the square is,
No, we don't.
but we will
I
ask
don't think
someone.
we would have asked.
Okay.
No,
I
we
mean,
didn't.
well, first of all, Johan Opfer can tell you. He lives here.
Oh, good.
It's right there in the Great Park.
Oh my!
Okay.
He lives in the Great Park?
No, but that's where the
No, that's-
Square of Marshals is.
It's like, you liar.
So yeah, do you want to make yourself there, or did you want to go back to the temple?
I would like to tell Jan what we need from him, basically.
Okay.
Kind of explain a little bit about what happened and how the man who tried to save him was arrested and they think he was responsible, so we need an eyewitness account of what happened that night.
Okay.
And we also need to remember that Cat is hurt really badly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cad's kind of busted up.
I've been slapped.
What time did he say that the trial was going to start?
The trial's going to start first thing tomorrow morning. So he said to you, make your way back to the temple, but if you can't get there in time, go straight to the...
Oh, okay, so we're going to the
Perhaps
temple.
it would be best to split the party here. I'm not in the best of sorts, nor the most patient. I have Matthew Bain, you have the evidence. It should
Yeah.
match the book. We have a witness. That should be enough. I need to get to a church, and I don't trust Ulrich with a damn anymore.
Good.
Given this is the entire situation. As we
I mean, if you do go to the Square of Marshals, you're basically going to be waiting several hours before people show up and they actually start to conduct anything.
Okay. then yeah, we would go to the church at that point. If it's going to be a few hours, we'll go to the church first.
Okay. Alrighty, so back to the Church of Sigmar you go. When you get there this time, there is no rioters outside. They have cleaned up the steps, cleared away all the broken bottles and stuff like that. Yeah, you're able to gain much easier access this time around. Okay.
Good.
So once you head inside, what's the game plan? You go into the church.
Let them know what we found. Go to the guy we were talking to before.
We found a guy.
The High Capillary, the Werner Stoltz. Okay.
Yeah, and just say we have evidence that would come in handy for the exoneration of the witch hunter.
Just excellent. Now, we must keep this secret. We must not let anybody aware that we have evidence or a witness. If they realize that we has a way out, they may do things to counteract us. So here's what I would like you to do.
I have a question.
Yes?
Is a witness if he was locked in a room at the time?
Well, what exactly do you... What did... Well, what?
I'm gonna point at
He's with us.
Johan.
Okay. He says, well, Your Holiness, I did not see with my eyes what happened, but I can now contest that I believe I was drugged in this drinking establishment, and then they took me upstairs, from what I understand, probably in this strange room. Also, I do not remember this, but from what happened to this dwarf, and he kind of, Werner Stoltz was kind of looking a little puzzled at that point. He says, and then I awoke in a dark stone room that I come to find out was beneath the Sword and Flail Tavern, and while I was there, locked away, I heard somebody come in, and a very loud kerfuffle, and some violence, and a gunshot, and then, sounded like somebody was fighting very hard, and then, I guess they were triumphant, and, I heard them, sounded like something hitting metal, and then I was hoping I would be rescued, but the person left. And then these fine people come to rescue me sometime after, a day or so, I don't know.
You did say there was someone who was upset about a missing book.
Oh, yes, I overheard a voice, and he come down and said, my book, where is my book? And, oh gosh, what has happened? Oh, he was very angry. And then he said, you will be sacrificed. You will be sacrificed to appease the gods of corn and re-sanctify this temple. As this is where I expected to die today, but fortunately I was saved by these individuals here. He says, this is most interesting, but what other evidence do we have to corroborate his story?
I'm gonna hold up the lectern and be like, where the book was stored, with the chain broken.
Perhaps then, let us hope that the chain is still, the other half of this chain is still attached to the book, and the two ends will match.
If it isn't, at the very least, we have a lot of coinciding stories and definitive evidence. I left a print in the monster's blood. The monsters that we fought to get him freed and this lecture.
Oh yeah, you'll probably want to do something about that.
Do need some follow-up. There is likely some sort of enemy within the bar itself at the Sword and Flail.
Well, once we can prove that Jacob Bauer is innocent and was just, as he said, liberating this book from this den of vile iniquity beneath the temple, or beneath the tavern. Then, of course, once we have this evidence, we will also know that this is happening beneath the sword and flail. And at that point, we will have the ability to act ourselves and should have the reinforcement of the city watch, and we can go and we can seize this place and root out the vileness that is at the very core of it.
How quickly will that happen?
Well, as soon as the trial is happened, we must of course make sure that Jacob is found innocent.
Yes,
Can
but there
we
is also
go?
someone who might be in danger there. There was someone up in that room that they had this gentleman in before he was taken down to be sacrificed.
Oh, that is indeed unfortunate. But
And if they take him down, they're going to know that we took the witness.
This could also be viewed as evidence of us at the scene, as we know of the dwarf who needs more saving, then we need Mr. Bauer to be executed, obviously.
we do not need Mr. Bauer to be executed.
Exactly.
We need him to be
need him
free.
Zero executed. What I'm saying is we need the dwarf rescued in a much more serious way. So if our evidence points to someone in danger, that would redirect them. Is there some higher authority within the kingdom which we could direct this complaint to the Theophorkian Church, perhaps?
Deputy High Priest.
Well,
Wait.
Well, the deputy high priest is directly involved with this problem,
Yeah.
dear Lioness.
I
We
forgot.
might need some outside help from the rest of the kingdom, as it were. Because if we can bring this evidence of their direct assault on the Sigmarian Church to a higher authority, then we can also unroot all of their growing disparity.
Oh,
well, there are currently 3 appointed law lords of Middenheim in the Graf's absence that will be presiding over this particular trial in the morning. There is the Deputy High Priest Leibniz. He will conduct the prosecution. But the Watch Commander, the High Priestess of Verna, they are also will be on the council, one of the High Lords, and of course, we will be enacting the evidence. My plan is to begin the trial and see if Herr Leibniz tips his hand in any way. But if not, at an opportune moment, I would like you to emerge with the witness, and perhaps between this man's statement and one of you can also give witness for your group of what you have seen and what has happened and what has transpired. And we will then bring forth the evidence, and I feel sure with enough information, at the very least, they will have no choice but to dispatch the watch to the establishments that you speak to collaborate the evidence. And at that point, we will have proved that Jacob Bauer did not tie himself into the leagues of chaos, was acting as a witch hunter should, and was merely bringing the book as evidence. But more importantly, it will mean that Herr Leibniz will have to decide whether to drop the matter or whether to show his hand. If this is what he does, well then of course it will show that the Church of Ulrich is maybe not in such good light at the moment.
We were held
okay, what
captive at the
happens
church.
then?
Well, once it becomes obvious, then maybe we will be in a position to reverse the tables, and perhaps then the Watch Commander and the Priestess of Vernak should be convinced that they should possibly look into the actions of Herr Leibniz.
What if they've been compromised too?
if the High Priestess of Verna and the Watch Commander have been compromised, then we have much more serious problems. At that point, I think that there will be no choice but for Middenheim to end up in civil war. The forces that are behind this wickedness, on the one side, and all of those that we can find to rally on the side of good, on the other, behind the Temple of Sigmar.
God,
I
it
really
feels good
don't
to be
want to
serving
see this
Sigmar
man.
again.
We have to go to the trial too?
If we give this evidence,
We will need
he
you
did
to
hold
bring
us.
him and the evidence. And of course, you have seen these things firsthand yourself. The lectern that you speak of.
Oh, and there's also this, and I'm gonna pull out the skull that I had from the
Okay.
thing.
Oh, what is this disgusting thing? Where did you find this?
Well, it's a human skull. I expect you to know what that is. It's from the altar which was constructed for dark rituals in the basement of the Sword and Flail.
I see. So,
I removed it because it fits perfectly into the exact alcove.
very smart. Excellent. So yes, then we can send the city watch down into this basement, and they can tie these pieces of evidence together to prove that the book was stolen from this location.
As well as the missing leg from the lectern. which
Okay,
left a stamp
but
of
shouldn't
blood.
you send somebody there to make sure that they don't go clean up the basement? If they know that we've been there and we've disturbed stuff, they could go like get rid of it, and then we'll just look like crazy people.
This is true. This could be a thing.
If there is tampering, it would also be evidence of corruption.
This is
Yeah,
also
but how
true.
do we prove that?
Tampering leaves a trail. It's impossible to scrub something without evidence of scrubbing. And if there is tampering, then there's greater corruption.
The
which
trial
will
is
have
only in a few hours. Would they possibly have the time to eradicate everything that you saw in such a short period of time?
There's two
Wasn't that
entire
much down
bodies totally eviscerated, so no, they can't
know.
possibly
I mean,
do that
the-
in
Chaos
hours.
magic is weird.
The holding cell alone would take a long time to dismantle.
Right.
And the
They
door.
could say it was there for something else.
And if there is evidence of tampering and any at all evidence of what we've been saying, then our story holds up and something greater will be exposed.
I guess the only thing we need to really worry about is where we're going to be during this trial. So when we do our surprise, it's still a surprise, but we're also somewhere easy, right? I mean, you can get us in there, no?
I'm not sure how much of a...
I can arrange to make sure. We will put... Once the trial begins, there will be no doubt guards and members of the city watch, and I would suspect possibly priests or Teutonic Knights of Ulrich positioned to try to ensure that things go their way. But, yes, I believe we can put some people in key positions to make sure that this information, trusting, of course, that the Watch Commander is still honest. What my intentions will be is I will give a signal which we will discuss and decide upon. You should probably be across the street at the Nuremberg East Gate area to where you can see the Square of Marshals. We will issue a signal, and when we do this, you will bring your witness and your evidence to the Square of Marshals, and at that point, I will ensure that somebody informs the Watch Commander that you are coming with evidence pertinent to the trial, and be sure to make sure you have entrance into this Square of Marshals. Should anything go wrong, it is imperative that you protect this witness and evidence.
So it is to say this meeting never happened. We came directly from where we were.
this is fine too. After all, nothing here has happened or transpired that is dishonest. I have nothing to hide. You merely brought this evidence to me, and I have issued this evidence should be brought to the court.
But for the sake of theatrics, acknowledging the theatrics of what
But
we're
yes.
doing.
Especially between now and then. Now, the only matter that troubles me is what we can do about your friends that, or the individual at the sword and flail that you say might be in danger.
The dwarf.
The dwarf, yes.
Yes.
If we act to free the dwarf, we could create other problems for ourselves. If we do nothing to free the dwarf, maybe some bad things will happen to him. I don't know.
What
This
if
is
we
quite a
told the
dilemma.
other dwarfs?
The problem with dwarfs is when it comes to their own interdealings, they can be very, very unreasonable and heavy-handed. No, if they found that one of their own was in danger at the sword and flail, no doubt a group of hammerers would be there and
Well, we don't
besiege
have
the
to
place.
tell him he's in danger. We could just say he got really, really plastered, and they need to go get him.
But
Would
if
it
he
be
is,
would it be the worst thing if a bunch of hammerers did go there to rescue him?
They might
That
hurt
are up
somebody
to
who's
cult
innocent.
activities.
they quite easily could decide to tar everybody in the establishment with the same brush. Perhaps only one or two people, or perhaps only one person is responsible inside the tavern for this wickedness. If the dwarves go in there with their hammers and shields, there may be more skulls cracked than just his.
That's why I say you just tell him
Which
that
is to
he's
say-
got too much to drink, and they need to go help him.
Which is to say, if this entire rescue operation for Jacob Bauer is a failure, we will tell the dwarves. That is the most
And
moral
I
choice
feel
of action.
sure that once the evidence is brought to light, we will quickly be able to allude to the watch commander that another person might be in danger, just like this individual was, and that they should send somebody post-haste to verify your evidence and rescue this dwarf as quickly as possible.
Something happens to dwarf, I'm gonna be really upset.
Well, I hope that Sigma will see what we are doing here and feel the benevolence to bless the situation, and hopefully your dwarven friend will be okay.
Yeah, I hope Sigmar saves
After all,
everybody.
This individual, they locked up and did not execute or sacrifice straight away. So perhaps the dwarf will have a period of time. Perhaps there is something that they need for the ritual, or perhaps they have to wait for an opportune portent to be able to do this. At the very least, maybe they will just lock the dwarf away, much like they did your friend.
I mean, we are talking 5 hours, 6 hours max that this dwarf might be in trouble before we send people and get him saved. Because it is.
Unfortunately, also, because of the sheer magnitude and gravity of the situation, I fear the well-being of one single dwarf should not take precedence over the needs to prove the evidence that the witch hunters and the Order Fidalis are not, in fact, corrupt, and by extension, the Churchhood of Sigma is not corrupt, and by further extension, you are not corrupt.
It is a noble cause which you speak.
Even though you have a pig nose under there.
It is a noble cause which you speak, clarifying the names of those who mentioned, but the issue becomes, were it you in the position of the dwarf, would you be willing to give up your life for petty politics overhand? I don't think it's fair to the dwarf necessarily that he would die just for the sake of something he's completely
Hey,
unaware of.
Darrell, listen, if all goes according to plan as we are hoping,
When does that ever happen?
thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I think the fact, I mean, it's impractical for us to try to save the dwarf right before this trial anyway. And I think a dwarf in danger is a potentially good ally maker to the rest of the dwarves if things go wrong. It would be nice to have angry dwarves on the side of Sigmar as a side in Evenus,
Who
no?
doesn't want angry dwarves on their side after all?
Frankly, the survival of the dwarf is just more evidence for the allyship of the dwarves in the future. He would have more to say about being entrapped by some gnarly Cornish human than anyone else. But
Eldad does have a relationship with them, no?
With who?
are you insinuating
dwarves.
because they're short they get
Me
along?
too. They're gonna recognize me as one of their own.
Technically,
I have a favor from the dwarves.
yeah.
Well, there you
from
go.
The
That's a
dwarf
guild,
at the
that's not an
guild,
individual.
the head dwarf at the guild does
Yes.
technically owe her a favor. That is true.
If you put him in danger and then you wait, then he'll be a witness too.
I don't pretend to be more than a coward, and I don't pretend to be more morally sound than anyone else. Other than the badges, which I
Of course, you're more
definitely
morally sound. You're
proudly-
superior in every way.
But what I mean to say is, should all of this go south, we will have to rescue a dwarf.
And we
Yes.
will use the dwarves to do that.
Exactly. But that being said, we
These
have
people don't-
unsurmountable evidence that everything which the witch hunter has professed is true. This should not go south.
Jeez.
Yes, so we will wait across the street with a signal.
Yes.
I think before then, sir, I'm gonna look at the priest. Maybe you can heal Catarel up.
Oh yeah, I am dying, by the way.
It does not look so bad, but come here. Yes, he raises his hand and may Sigmar's healing light be upon you. And he places his hand on your forehead, and
Points of healing.
you feel like
8 points of healing.
a glow emanates, and you feel warmth.
But not a sweaty warmth, like a good warmth.
And you are healed 5 wounds.
Okay, I'll take it. I'm going to decline the 5 points of healing, as it's not what I asked for.
I don't want
I
your
picked it up.
healing.
There's your L. Oh. Okay. So yeah. So is that the game plan? You guys are going to go and stash yourselves over here, and then once the trial begins, and you see, you need to decide on the signal.
Yep.
Yes, that's something I wanted to make very clear was what is the signal? Because we need to know
We
when.
gotta make the sound of a snipe in a tree.
Ooh, ooh. A whistle.
I think decide the symbol. Also, can we cure Bertilda of her drunkenness? Sober her up?
She'll
I mean,
be
she should be pretty
she'll be
sober in like
within
about
several hours.
But she'll have a
give her
headache.
a little bit
Have to
longer.
keep her
She
awake.
may have a headache, but give him 4 or 5 hours, she'll be alright.
All right.
Do we have any large plate of spaghetti we could serve to our barbarian?
Give her a ton of food.
Can we can the symbol be a gong? Just a big
Some
gong.
food. She might actually like some food right now.
Yeah, I
Ye
mean, if
old
y'all
water
want,
burger.
Go.
if y'all want to be
Blazing
fed,
Heart.
We need
they'll-
some good hangover food.
yeah,
Let's
they'll,
go to
they'll,
Ye
they'll
Old
definitely
Water
feed
Burger.
you.
Alright.
What if
Well,
our cover
obviously-
story is true?
Yeah,
What
they'll
if we
feed
go
you all up.
Blazing Heart.
I can tell you that your new friend is absolutely famished, so Johann Opfer will be more than interested the second the idea of getting to eat something and drink something comes up. So,
Oh, should we have them check
yeah, we
him
should have
over
the
to make
priest
sure that
one.
he doesn't have like some hidden
malady?
chaos just gonna
Dormant
just
chaos malady?
sprout out of his forehead or something while we're trying to
That is
say,
my
hey, this
gender
guy saw
identity.
everything and he's totally.
Dormant chaos
Um,
is my gender identity.
Can the priest make a loud noise like I can?
Well, he says that noises are not going to be very useful because the noise coming from the trial is probably going to be extremely loud.
I got it.
They make
A
these
smell.
things very,
You're
very
the only one
public.
that's gonna smell it. We
Okay.
got this.
So, like, something visual, like divine holy lights shine down on him.
I was thinking more like a gesture of some kind.
Well, I mean, if we're across the street, would you see a gesture?
Yeah, you're going to need something reasonably significant that you're going to see.
I'm maintaining the smell will work. You'll smell it right away with
Well,
your big
that's
honker.
true. That's not wrong.
That's not the worst idea.
Nobody make a smell until we're
But
ready.
don't explain to the priests why you.
Nobody
have a
break
keen
wind
sense of
until
smell.
the...
They might be upset to know. Hey,
So-
everybody!
so
this
if-
guy's got a chaos mutation.
If
You should persecute him.
if the High Capitular lights a torch and waves it, would we see that from the far across the street? Most likely, right? Like,
Well, he's
Tell
not
us
going
off
to do
a
it.
few
He's going to have
Roman
somebody do it
candles.
for him.
well,
That's
yeah,
it.
there's someone else because they're going to be on a stand or something. No,
There's
I
a
mean-
What
whole
if the-
church here. Gore,
So he's
come
having
on.
a guard at the edge be able to usher us in, right? Like somebody at the edge.
That's the
What
idea,
if that
yeah.
person just signaled to us
Yeah, they just...
from the edge?
well, who would signal to him?
Fairy lights.
The main guy, but he's a lot closer than we are.
So
Yeah,
they
I
would
mean,
have a signal worked out,
the-
and
And
then
then
have
he
a
would
signal
come and get
for
us.
So
yeah.
then the guy would just wave us over.
Yeah, the Square of Marshals is kind of like a sunk-in, three-tiered
Oh, okay.
kind of, almost like a Colosseum type thing, but into the ground.
Okay.
So you kind of get to the top and you work your way down in. So he's going to have somebody up there to issue a signal.
Got it. And then that guy will signal to the other guy, and we'll signal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy at the edge can just wave us in. We'll know who we're looking for.
Just have somebody shout signal.
Yeah, somebody to wave a mirror and glint it in the sun or something like that.
Let's just
So
start
it's
a fire.
visual.
Let's just start a big fire around everyone.
Set fire to the whole place.
Yeah, the whole
Gotcha.
park.
Okay.
Yes. So we're gonna eat and rest up as we can, and then
All right.
get in position.
Okie dokie.
There you go, my baby.
Make contact with the guy who's gonna signal us, so he knows where we are specifically. And
Yep. All right.
Just
Well,
mechanically,
from
it's
your
less than
position,
getting
it's
it.
not long. After a few hours, you start to see people coming towards the city of Marshals from all directions, like hordes of people. Seems like all Middenheim is turned out for the trial. Within no time, the outside of the square is packed tight with a heavy throng of different types of people from all walks of life. And you're kind of like just seeing these huge crowds just slowly funnel in and begin to fill this place. After a short period of time, you can hear quite an eruption of just a sheer volume of people just idly talking. But about 9 a.m. sharp, you hear the loud banging of a gavel, which surprises you that you can hear it so clearly from all this way, and the sound kind of as the trial clearly is about to commence. There's like a rope and a staked fence surrounding like the area above at the top. You can see that there are numerous watchmen standing every few yards to make sure that, you know, once the trial starts, people don't just all start going in, coming out, causing any additional disruptions. But it is not that long before, in fact, a lot sooner than you expect, that you get a glint and the signal.
holding the lantern. Let's go. I'm just gonna walk across the street.
Was that it?
Sooner than we expect?
Way sooner. Like, the trial hasn't actually started yet.
Something's wrong.
And he's just not very dramatic, but if we can put an end to
And by
this-
now, Spook, you probably have a bit of a hangover, but you're fine.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't slurring
Yeah.
anymore. Something's wrong.
Yes,
Yes.
it doesn't quite feel right.
But we got the evidence. We got the signal. Let's
But
go.
I don't know that this is.
They might have been rushing the trial to hurry up and get it over with, knowing that we've probably got some agents on our side.
Maybe they
Because
revealed
that's-
something that we weren't expecting.
So let's hurry up and put an end to it, shall we?
To hope that they're not.
Yes,
gonna
because
try
it's
and
almost
take
10:30. Let's go.
mean,
They're going to try and take out our evidence before we even get there.
we have 3 layers of
Or why don't we stop hypothesizing what's going to happen and just experience it?
That's what I said, because it's going to end up as a cliffhanger. It's almost 10:30. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to walk across the street without another word and
So,
go to
so
the
do you
engine.
have the podium? Who has the podium?
I have the lectern.
Okay, yeah.
I've
I'm
nothing
gonna
else
sit
in
back
hand,
with
so-
our guy.
That's the most wizard
Yeah,
thing.
same.
is,
I don't want
brought
somebody
the
to like
lectern."
snipe him while we're walking across the street.
Yeah, I'm standing back with the guy. You guys go ahead. Like, we're gonna walk across, but like
My
behind.
perception's
Okay.
crap, but
Bring
I'm going to
him
be
up-
looking
bring
around
him
to make
up
sure
after
there's
we find
nobody.
Other evidence.
All right.
Have
Yeah, if any
physical
of you are
evidence.
looking for potential crossbow snipers or anything like that, give me a perception check.
Always. I don't want to die here. This is stupid.
We're so paranoid right now.
Okay, Bertilda is like glancing and looking, and you're almost seeing things. Like there are times when it's look, it's a halfling with a crossbow. Oh, it's not. It's a kid with a stick. You know, like
Man, good thing you weren't an armed police officer.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk up to the engine and be like, we're here.
right. So as you start getting close, the person that was doing the signaling, he kind of like breaks away from the fence and is coming to meet you halfway.
Push through some more people, get to him.
Okay, once he gets to you, he says, I was instructed to meet you and tell you that there has been a very slight change of plan.
Oh, really?
It has been decided that it would be better if we could get you inside and have you mingle in amongst the crowd. We are worried that somebody may have ascertained something. There may be somebody onto us.
I'm holding a lectern. You want me to mingle in the crowd with a podium?
Do you not have you don't have a bag over it still?
No, we never
He says,
bagged it.
then stick it under your coat or something. I don't know, but we must get you inside.
Oh, quickly,
Oh.
go to
Quickly.
the marks and.
Oh,
buy
like a broom or something. Like I'm a witch. That's good. I'll straddle this thing in
I
the crowd.
am. As loud as I am, I'm not very good at speaking. People don't tend to trust me or like me. It's just a thing. I'll have it known.
We do not need to stand here outside. We must
Right.
get inside quickly.
Okay, fine. I'm just gonna walk in, I guess.
Okay. He kind of walks round the side of the rope, and you see him reach under his robe, and he hands the guard there a small sack of money, who looks left and right, and then with the tip of his pike, he lifts up the rope so that you can go underneath it.
I do very awkwardly.
Lectern in tow. All right. He gets everybody through, and then quickly he kind of like ushers you down some of the steps so you can actually get down into the Square of Marshals. So once you kind of go down at the north end, with the Graf's Palace in the background, sit the judges on a raised wooden dais, with an awning over the top should it start to rain. You recognize Commander Schutzman of the Watch. To his left sits a regal-looking woman in white robes. And to his right sit 3 men in like judicial regalia. They're all talking amongst themselves, waiting for the trial to officially get underway. In front of the dais, you see Jacob Bauer. He's in chains, and he's flanked by 2 large, brutish-looking watchmen armed with swords and spears. His clothes are dirty and bloodstained, but despite his condition and the wounds that he's obviously received, he's still kind of doing his best to stand upright and look proud. At this point, some members of the crowd are hurling fruit at him. And he's getting hit by the odd tomato or piece of rotten cabbage. But even then, he still tries to hold his posture.
Okay, I want to know where the deputy high priest, that's what I'm looking for.
You have not seen him yet, nor
I
have
don't
you
like
seen
that.
Werner nor have you seen Leibniz.
I
Okay.
don't like that.
The most sinister thing is behind Bauer, in the middle of the square, a stake and wooden pyre have been raised so that sentence can be carried out immediately should he be found guilty.
Jesus.
A few yards from where Bauer is being held, a smaller dais has been built, equipped with a lectern and reached by a low flight of wooden steps. Presumably this would be where the witness will stand when they give evidence. To the left is an open pavilion where various formally dressed people are sitting in rows and chairs. At that point your eyes fall upon and recognize the High Capillary Werner Stoltz and High Priest, or Deputy High Priest Klaus Leibniz, sitting amongst them. At this point, you guys are just in amongst the crowd. What do you guys want to do?
At this point, we're just high alert, I imagine.
You just want to stay put
Super
and
paranoid.
Yes, stay put. Try to avoid being immediately obvious to our enemies or our perceived enemies, right? Like,
Or to anyone, since you're holding a lectern.
well, you put it on the.
he's got a large He's got a large lump of something underneath his robes.
This is my trial lectern. It calls me
pretend-
to
Is
Is that a
all-
lectern, or are you just
Stool.
pleased to see me? Yeah.
Guys, it's just a
Am
stool
I,
for me.
am I near? I'm near you, right?
We're all
Nick?
together, I assume. Yeah.
I'm just kind of like lean up to him and be like, given your circumstances, perhaps not make a scene with yourself here.
So, be absolutely quiet, and I do have a beast helmet on my head.
And you're holding a lectern. You're like the
No,
most
hold it.
conspicuous out of all of us.
Perhaps this is for my walking impediment at the moment, and I'm going to kind of take the lectern from him.
Okay.
It's a crutch. Yeah. Good.
It's for our halfling.
It's a
in case
very,
she
very
has to
large
spontaneously
handled
agitate.
crutch. Okay.
ornate crutch. Yes.
I like it. It's comfortable.
Put some tennis balls on the bottom of it.
Maybe
Use it as a walker. Okay.
as qualified as you are for speaking, perhaps not on this venue.
Okay. At this point, I'm going to roll a d4.
Oh, great.
Let's
I love
go. One. We'll go in order. So, 1 is Aldette, 2 is Matthew Vane, 3 is Bertilda, 4 is Caddelrell.
Oh, love that.
Bertilda. Okay. As you stand there, in amongst the very thick crowd, you suddenly feel a somewhat sharp pain in your left shin. Not the sort of pain that does any wounds, but the sort of pain that definitely hurts. As you
That
glance
kind of
down, you
pain,
can see,
okay.
again, not enough to cause a wound, but enough to make you go, ah! As you look down, you can see somebody about Aldette's size, maybe half a foot taller, with blonde pigtails, snot coming down her nose. Her eyes are red where she's clearly been crying. It's a small child, and she just kicked you very hard in the shin. And she goes, "Move! I am trying to find my mother!"
You little brat. Okay,
Have you seen my mother? Where is Morty? I have not seen her. I have got
You
lost.
kill her.
what's your mom look like?
She has tall and she has hair like me.
She's tall and she's got hair. Okay.
She has tall.
Honestly, even though we're not trying to be conspicuous, I'm gonna pick the kid up and kind of be like, "Do you see her?"
Okay. Give me a dice roll. I would like a charm roll, please.
Just scream at the
Yeah, you-
child until she
you-
runs away.
Oh,
just-
my charm roll is bad, you guys. If this little
You
kid
just-
starts screaming, we're screwed.
Yeah, you just picked up a kid without saying anything. You're just like,
Well, that is
Random-
literally the only
Oh,
one
yeah,
allowed
that's
to
not
talk
good.
to anyone ever.
It's a brand new day. Just saying. And I think you have a free. I think you have a bonus.
Okay.
You do have.
I smell where you're stepping.
No, I'm
Okay.
just saying it's a new
This
day,
isn't
so you do
gonna
have
help,
rerolls if
but
you want them,
I'll try.
and you have you were awarded one as a bonus. Oh my God! Is it really?
It's
Your
a better
target is
failure.
13. That's really
Yeah,
bad.
I told you it's pathetic.
Yeah, I
Nobody
wouldn't have
likes
wasted
me.
It's a better failure.
Okay, you pick her up. As soon as you pick her up, she just starts crying. Like, unhand me, mother, mother.
I'm gonna drop. Whose child is this?
Okay.
Does the child have a smell? Maybe
Yeah,
I
I'm
could suss
immediately
out her
gonna.
mother.
When the kid starts screaming, I'm gonna drop her and be like, "I thought you wanted my help."
Basically, as soon as you drop her, she just like tries to push her way through the next person in front of you, and then when they don't get out of her way, she like thumps them in the back and kicks them in the back of the shins, to where they turn around and scowl and initially look at you as much to say, "What the hell did you just do?" And then they realize there's a small child down there, and
She's looking for her mom.
but while
Said it looks
all
like
that,
her.
while all that has gone on, you've heard as a gavel has yet again been struck. And as your attention is kind of drawn back, you can see Werner Stoltz and Herr Leibniz come out of the tent and begin to walk over to the smaller dais and both take up seats behind small tables either side of it. At this point, the murmuring of the crowd starts to kind of die down somewhat. Shortly after that, a shattered trumpet blast rings out across the square as once again the crowd is silenced. At this point, a herald stands up on the dais, says, "Let all citizens and nobles of Middenheim take note. Here begins the trial of Jacob Bauer of Altdorf for the most heinous crimes of heresy, consorting with the forces of chaos and treason against our most high lord Graf Boris Todbringer. May Ulrich protect him. All the said crimes having been committed within the city of Middenheim between 1 and 2 days since." The herald turns to the watchman guarding Bauer. "Is the accused in the court?" he asks rhetorically. "Aye," responds one of the watchmen. Bauer says nothing, ignoring the sudden barrage of missiles as he gets pelted by carrots and, again, apples and rotten tomatoes and stuff like that. At that point, raising above the volume of everything else, chants of "Burn him! He's a witch! Burn him!" starts to erupt from everybody all around you to an almost deafening level. At that point, he brings up the trumpet and blows it again to silence everybody. He says, "Silence! Silence! The accused will be judged by a wise and learned panel headed by the noble Ulrich Schutzmann, commander of the city watch, building by special appointments the authority of said Graf Boris Todbringer in his absence from the city. Also on this panel are Hassarin Grace, Even Klug, High Priestess of the Temple of Werner of Middenheim, His Excellency Ebenhard Reichter, First Law Marshal of Middenheim, His Excellency Eric Kalbert, Second Law Lord of Middenheim, and His Excellency Hannes Brucker, Third Law Lord of Middenheim." The herald turns to face the panel. "Are the judges in the court?" Again, he asks rhetorically, as each of them, "Aye." At that point, the crowd cheers loyally as they stand up. He says, "Then, let this court now, by all witness here, be officially in session." And the gavel is once again bashed down. Where are we at? 1024. Okay.
This is gonna suck.
That's going to be a perfect spot for us to stop.
Uh,
We don't want to start the trial tonight. No, let's wait and start the trial next time. Much better idea. Alright guys, well thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you as always for our subs, our resubs. Thank you for our cheers, thank you for our follows, thank you for our very, 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 very kind donation.
Thank you, man.
And as always, thank you for hanging out with us. We had fun. Hope you did too. We will see you again real soon. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Bye y'all!